Spanish Grand Prix! Oh, I don't feel well. Anyway, welcome. Welcome back, that is, from the stream we did earlier. We are now here for the Spanish Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to this one, even though it could be just as boring, maybe even more boring than Monaco itself. Because, well, yeah. Track position is pretty much everything around here. In the last sort of 30-odd Grand Prix, it's only been one from outside the top, actually in its history. It's only been one from outside the top two 4 times, I believe. So, there's a very high chance somewhere in the 90s that today's winner is either going to be Lewis Hamilton or it's going to be George Russell. I didn't lift my chair up. Ah! There we go. Right, do that. Move me over. Why am I moving? Ah! There we go. Yeah, that'll do. There we go. Alright. I have my mouse back, thanks. Right, we're dialed in. We are locked. Right then, let's go over some predictions. I actually forgot to make. I was going to do something cool in the break between my full Spanish Grand Prix and this. I was going to make a graphic of F125's predictions and then my predictions. F125 certainly cooked up something interesting. First of all, George Russell retires from the Grand Prix, and it had a top 5 of Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Lindblad, and Hadjar. So, doubtful. My prediction is going to be Hamilton, Russell. Basically, I think it's just going to stay as it is, except Hamilton and Russell swap. So, Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli, Norris, Verstappen. That's my top 5. And as I said, F1's top 5, F125's top 5, that is Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, Lindblad, Hadjar. They also predicted no red flags, no safety cars, no virtual safety cars, and 3 DNFs from Lawson, Russell, and Gasly. So we'll see what goes down. Got 8 minutes until the formation lap, and we're locked in. Risk of rain is 0. That makes sense. It is prime summer season for Spain. It gets quite hot. What is the temperature currently? 30 degrees air. Oh my. That's the hottest I've seen it. I mean, qualifying, I believe, was in the 40s in track temperature. Right now, it's 50. Good luck if you're on track. That is going to be an absolute sweaty adventure for all our drivers. Now, I also figured out how to get driver cams on my phone, so I'm going to get Sergio Perez's onboard on, because obviously I'm going to do that. If you give me the option, absolutely. I forgot where I did it. I think I went to sports and then motorsports. Driver cams. Here we go. Where is he? Where? I should probably watch Hamilton, actually. Nah, I don't care. Where is he? Come on. There he is. Sergio Perez on board. Does this actually work? Coverage on this option will commence shortly. Right, you got it, boss. We're locked. Where did I put that? I don't know, put that there. Who cares? Right. Let's go then. 66 laps ahead of us of the Spanish Grand Prix. Like I said, I'm excited because, you know, I do just like Formula 1, but it has got the potential to be a bit of a bore fest, but oh well, that's how that works. We have got a couple team radios from about half an hour ago. Might as well listen to them. First was Kimi Antonelli.
Brakes feel quite bad already, quite long. Feels like air is in the system.
Okay, copy. We'll have a look at it.
And of course, we have the usual. We hate Colton Herter. We hate Lance Stroll. We hate Logan Sargent. There it is. Well done. Good to see you, mate. And then we have a team radio from Lewis Hamilton.
Rebound, what do you think of it? Turn one. Says maybe locking rears.
No idea what he just said. I heard Bebout and locking rears. No idea. Am I wrong? Well, you're not wrong. You can hate whoever you want. I don't hate Colton Herter or Logan Sargent. Actually, I don't hate any of them because I've never met them. I mean, I hate Lance Stroll's driving ability, but I don't hate him personally. I don't know him. Could be a decent bloke for all I know. Right, so Sergio Perez on board is about to get underway as well, which is electric. Okay, yeah, see, that's the one thing that we can't accept, you know? Saying you hate random drivers that aren't in F1 is, you can't say that, but you can. Saying Perez is meh, you're lucky you've not been banned from the chat, man. Right, Mazio, Lewis will take over Russell. That would be really good, actually. I'd be well up for that. All right, Mark, good morning to you. But yeah, I think Hamilton winning this, or at least getting the lead at turn one, would be electric. That would be ideal scenario, to be fair. I think that would cause quite the kick-off. Put it lightly. I love Mick Schumacher. Okay, that's valid. Yeah, I think Lewis has got a good chance. I mean, as we know, in the Spanish Grand Prix history at this specific track, pretty much only the top two wins. I think it's only been one from P3 and 4 once. So, as it started now, we've got about 5 minutes or 4 minutes until the formation lap starts. So, 5 minutes and we'll be just about starting, yeah. Warning, this live content may contain strong language. Well, yeah, it's Sergio Perez, of course. That is actually really stupid, though, that I get kids are watching, but even so, having to put a warning and, like, apologize for bad language when it isn't even that bad is a little bit cringe, if you ask me, but that's what they do, so oh well. Starting tyres, then. We have got Russell on the brand new mediums. Hamilton on the used soft. Following with him, we've got Verstappen on used softs. Hulkenberg, Colapinto, Sainz, and Ocon are all on the new soft. We then have Antonelli, Norris, Hadjar, Piastri, Lawson, Leclerc, Lindblad, Bortoletto, Gasly, Behrman, Albon, and Bottas on the brand new medium. And then we have Sergio to keep the Perez, Lance Stroll on the hards, and Fernando Alonso starting from the pit lane on the brand new hards. Yeah, I remember Matteo from last week, yeah, from Monaco. That was a great race. I still haven't watched that back. I don't think I can now. I think they've stopped doing replays of it, but I didn't actually get to watch that race. Like, actually the race, not looking at these timing boards. Which was a shame, really, because I would have liked to seen that. Although, to be fair, thinking about it, nothing really happened. There wasn't overtakes or anything. It was just a lot of penalties and, well, I suppose Stroll and Leclerc crashing was quite funny. Yeah, hey, Gasly, that's valid as well. Yeah, okay, so you think Perez is meh, but you brought it back with the hate of Gasly. Although, again, though, you can't just hate someone when you don't know. Or maybe you do know them, I don't know. I'm just thinking I should probably watch Hamilton or Russell on this onboard, but to be honest, I mean, we're going to see what, I mean, you got to think, this onboard I'm watching of Perez is 30 seconds delayed. So if I do watch Hamilton, I'm still going to be looking at this, and this will just be for an instant replay, if anything. Perez got so robbed. I wouldn't say robbed, no, because at the end of the day, it was his fault. You know, If it was a speeding penalty, then you could say he was robbed because that wasn't his fault. But parking outside your grid box twice, yeah, no, it's him. I mean, to be fair, the first one at the start of the race, he parked in the complete wrong grid spot. He parked in P16 when he was supposed to be in P18. Which is an easy mistake if you're not too locked in. I mean, leaving a gap in the grid is a bit odd. I wonder why that happened, actually, because, you know, surely they would have announced that Bortoletti was starting from the pit lane and then close her. I don't know, but second time he was just outside his box. So, there you go. 59 pass now. So, any second now, the formation lap will begin with George Russell. Big comeback from the last few races, of course. Monaco, he was just shit. And then there was a lot of team incompetence. Canada, he was quite good, and then obviously had a mechanical failure. Miami, he was really slow. So it's been a rough time since China, really. But there's a strong quali. Put 3 attempts on his teammate. Did almost lose pole to Hamilton, but even so, he's got the pole. And, well, unless something dramatic happens, which we have seen before, it looks like it's either going to be a Russell win or it's going to be a Hamilton win. Both of which I'm up for. As long as it isn't Antonelli, I couldn't care less who wins. And that's how I think. That is my stance. One thing that's really annoying me is that I'm trying to go live on Kick again. It's like, I've typed in the correct stream key and like URL and all that, but when I go on my Kick page, I'm just sort of not live. Okay, I guess we'll bin that off for now. That does mean I can have my chats a little bit bigger, which is a bit of a relief. The formation lap is underway, so we're about to kick off. I think Kimmy's going to make a comeback. Please, no. That can't happen. I'll tell you what, the onboard might actually... Okay, no, it is. I was going to say the onboard isn't that delayed, but Perez ain't even round turn 1 yet. Whereas on this, he's already past sector 1. Which is, of course, where Leclerc crashed in qualifying. He's a good driver, and I think him or Lewis will win. Kimby is a fantastic driver. I just don't want him to win because it's boring, essentially. But the thing is, when Verstappen was winning all the time, I liked Verstappen. He was my favourite driver, so I didn't really care that much. But with Antonelli, I like him, but because he's not anywhere near a favourite, he's just kind of there. Much like most of the drivers on the grid. I am a bit bored, I won't lie. This is just how it feels, though. For people that don't really care about Max when he won all those races. It's that same feeling. It's just like, you know, someone else. Even if it is still a Mercedes. You know what I mean? But we're getting lined up now. Verstappen's lined up. Hadjar's about to line up as well. And there ain't really a clear indicator of when the race starts. There's a couple things. First of all, the lap counter will say 1, first of all. Russell's sectors will disappear. So here, it will no longer be yellow, it'll be blank. And you'll also see a gap appear. Those are the 3 things to look out for. When that happens, excuse me, the race will start. Perez top 10. He seems to be confident he's going to finish higher than 18th or 19th because he's saved an extra set of softs. I don't know how that gives you an advantage, but there you go. Right then, we're about to get underway for round number 7, the Spanish Grand Prix. Will it be Hamilton? Will it be Russell? Will it be someone from outside the top 3 for the first time since, I believe, 2016? Let's find out. And we're underway for the Spanish Grand Prix. Will we see any changes for position going into turn 1? Remember, Ferrari have got that fast starting car. And we are seeing some movements as Sergio Perez loses a place. Lindblad up 2, Albon up 3, Bortoletto down 5. Max Verstappen fighting with Piastri for P5. Lindblad up to 7th. Leclerc up to 7th now. Good start for Leclerc. 3 places gained already. Hulkenberg into the top 9. Perez re-overtaking Bottas. Love to see that. Carlo Pinto up 2. Lindblad fighting with Hulkenberg. George Russell flying though. 0.7 out in front already. Ugh. Hajar has had what's happened to Hajar? How did he get there then? I didn't even notice that. Hajar down 9 places now. Hajar might be off the track actually. Or he's having a generational stinker of an opening lap. I think he is. Ocon gets past Albon. Hajar down 9 places. Not good for Hajar. Russell flying out in front. 1.2 seconds in the lead. And that could be all she wrote, as they say. That could be it. We could see Russell just with track position go on to win the race really easily from here on out. That could be a realistic possibility as Ocon gets past Bortoletto for P15 or 16 rather. I want to know what happened to Hajar because it all went horribly wrong for him as he gets past Ollie Behrman for P14, but down 8 places. You know, within a 10th of his teammate in qualifying to drop down is pretty crazy. We now start lap number dos. George Russell with the lead by 1.1 seconds over Hamilton. Hamilton 0.6 or now 0.7 ahead of Antonelli as Ocon re-overtakes Behrman for P15. And then we have Antonelli 0.7 ahead of Norris. How'd Norris get there? That's where he started. He started 4th. Oh, fair play. Good stuff. Come on, Lewis. A Lewis win will be generational, but honestly, after that first lap, that might just be a sign of things to come as Hulkenberg gets past Lindblad into the top 9. It also appears that the tyres weren't accurate. At the start, before the race started, it was said that Perez was on the hard tyre. He's not. He's actually on the brand new soft, alongside a couple other drivers as well. 1.7 already for George Russell. 1 second between Hamilton and Antonelli. 0.6 between Antonelli and Norris. 1 second between Norris and Max Verstappen. Now, of course, the lap times are quite short around here. Should be like, what, 117s? 120... Oh. 21.5 for George Russell. Fastest lap of the race. 21.7 for Hamilton. 22 dead for Antonelli. 22.2 for Norris. 22.6 for Verstappen. 22.8 for Piastri. 23.8 for Leclerc. Wait, no, that's Lindblad. No, I lied. Decent opening exchanges, though. Biggest gainer is going to be Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, both with 3 places gained. Biggest loss is Hajar, who was down 8, is now down 7, as he makes his way onto P13 past Carlos Sainz. Turn 1 incident involving Hulkenberg has been noted for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. There we go. Perez within overtake of Alex Albon. Come on, my son. Lindblad has also been noted for the same offence, leaving the track. That's obviously at turn 1, drivers just getting a bit cheeky with the runoff. Which I suppose the way they got to look at it is that if they stayed on track, would it have caused contact? If it did, then they'll probably let them off. There you go. Right then, lap number 3 is about to be completed. George Russell is going to set a 1 minute 21.4. New fastest lap of the race, 6 tenths quicker than Hamilton, 22.0, Antonelli 22.1, Norris 22.4, Verstappen 22.7, Piastri 22.9, Leclerc 22.6. Decent few laps. I mean, a lot of movement going on. I would like to know what happened to Hajar for him to lose so many places. I assume he either spun on his own, had a stall, or just got hit or something. I don't know. But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can make a comeback. He's currently P13. Of course, he started in P6, right behind his teammate. We'll see how he gets on. Although, it'd be quite difficult to make some moves. Of course, overtaking him around here is very, very challenging. Sergio Perez, by the way, I think it's just hilarious. He's already 20 seconds behind the race leader. He's 4 seconds a lap slower. Something about just the gap in pace. I know it's a new season and it's a new regulation, so it's going to happen, but just the gaps between cars is hilarious. The fact that Russell is in the 21s, and then you've got pretty much everyone that isn't a top 4 team in the 24s. Apart from Hajar, who is a top 4 team, every other driver is doing 24s. Russell comes across the line for a 22-0. Hamilton 22-5. Another half a second advantage for George Russell. Antonelli 22-2 to go within DRS or overtake, whatever, of Lewis Hamilton. Norris 22-7. Verstappen 22-9. Piastri 23-0. Leclerc 22-9. Hulkenberg's under investigation now, so it was noted. It's now under investigation, as is Lindblad. So we could see some early penalties. Nice hairstyle, thanks, Jace. It was, kind of against my will, to be honest. My mother just kind of barged in the room and was like, you, do this. And I was like, okay, chill, I will. So there you go. It ain't permanent, though. Next time I have a shower, probably be after the stream, it'll be gone. But I might make it permanent, because, I mean, I do look a bit like Titan from Megamind, which ain't ideal, but, I don't mind it. I feel like I'm one of them average, like, chav British teenagers. I don't like that, but, you know. Lap 5 already. I'll tell you what, it happened in, when I was driving as well. It feels like these laps go by really quick. I mean, to be fair, I was lapping on average 5 seconds quicker than these lot. I was lapping in the mid-17s, sometimes in the 16s. These lot in the 22s. Russell, 22.4. Hamilton, 22.3. Antonelli, 22.4. Norris, 23.3. Verstappen, 23.0. Piastri, 23.2. Leclerc, 23.0. Right now, though, it seems it's just going to be just chill vibes, maybe until the end of the race, as Alonso overtakes Stroll for P21. At least he's winning some form of battle, do you know what I mean? But yeah, Hajar gets past Gasly up into the top 12. I tell you what, Hajar's making some good moves, considering how hard it is to overtake around here. I know he's got a much faster car, like a car that's a second a lap quicker, but even so, he's making moves, and he's making moves quick, and that's important. After his pretty disastrous start. As Stroll pits. Has he already given up? He actually might have just given up, to be honest. It's hilarious seeing like how slow Perez is driving. I'm watching his onboard, and it's just hilarious how little he's, like, trying. And I don't mean that, like, he isn't trying. I mean, like, because of the regulations. You know, this is just how slow the cars are. I mean, right now, what was pole? Wasn't pole a 15 or a 14? So we're about 7 or 8 seconds off that, which is pretty outrageous. Lap number 6 is completed. Russell, 22.4. Hamilton, 22.8. Antonelli, 22.9. Norris 23.2, Verstappen 23.4, Piastri 23.2, Leclerc 23.8. We are currently seeing the top 3 gap away from the rest of the field. There is 4.4 seconds between Russell and his teammate, and then there's 3 seconds back to Lando Norris. Although, to be fair, the field spread is nowhere near as bad as I thought. I mean, yes, there's already... It's Hajar again on the move. This kid is cooking. I'll tell you what, it's actually been really refreshing to see the second Red Bull actually be good. And I still think there was not sabotage, that's the wrong word, but preferential treatment between every other driver. But with the new regulations, I feel like with the new Red Bull boss as well, Laura MKII, I feel like there's a bit more like favorableness to the second driver, because Hajar's been cooking, and I think he's a fantastic driver, and he's been driving well. He's been close to max. He was within a 10th in qualifying. He made a mistake. He's already on the comeback. He's already P11 within overtake of Lindblad. Doing decent, as we already have our first retirement, and that is going to be Lance Stroll retiring from the race after just 7 laps. Ooh. As Leclerc, our first big move of the race, Leclerc overtakes Oscar Piastri. Now, to be fair, that is kind of expected. Ferrari have got a much better car than McLaren. I mean, Ferrari are on par with Mercedes. McLaren are miles off. But even so, that is our first big move of the race. Leclerc passed Piastri for P6. That was almost the wrong word. P6. Nice one. Perez now 4 seconds ahead of Bottas. I'm liking this. On average, 6/10 a lap quicker. That's what you want to see. Right then, lap number 8. Or is it 9? 8. 23.3 for Russell. 23.3 for Hamilton. 23.7 for Antonelli. 23.3 for Norris. 23.6 for Verstappen. 23.4 for Leclerc. 25.5 for Piastri. He must have made a mistake around turn 1 or sector 1. That is shocking. What we are seeing, though, is the tyre degradation. It seems like the top 3 have pushed a bit too hard, and now they're paying the price, because right now the top 7 is only split by 12 seconds. That's not a lot. That's only what, like, I don't know, 7/10 a lap. I'm not sure. Ocon and Bortoleto have been noted for forcing another driver off track. I'll keep you up to date on that. Behrman and Hajar as well has been noted for forcing another driver off track. So we're seeing a lot of investigations going on, not any penalties being given out. Also, no team radios as well. Hajar within 0.7 of Lindblad. Do you expect him to get past him fairly quickly, considering just the sheer difference in car performance? But we'll see. Of course, your main chance is going to be turn 1. Lap 10, or lap 9, sorry. George Russell, 23.2. Hamilton, 23.4. Antonelli, 23.5. Oh, I'm going to hiccup then, but didn't I? Hiccup cancelled. Norris, 23.5. Verstappen. Body, can we chill? Verstappen 23.9, Leclerc 23.5, Piastri 24.5. What is going on with Piastri? Piastri has dropped back 3 seconds from... What is going on, Body? Can we lock in? Piastri now 3 seconds behind Leclerc. Don't know what's going on with that. No hairs on me. Alonso passes Bottas. Hajar passes Lindblad. Bottas passes Alonso. The fact that Bottas is this slow is a bit concerning. And now Albon's also been noted for a starting procedure infringement. Keep that in mind. Right then, lap 10. These laps fly by, huh? 23.5 for Russell, 23.5 for Hamilton, 23.8 for Antonelli, 23.3 for Norris, 24.3 for Verstappen, 23.8 for Leclerc, 24.4 for Piastri. So right now, Norris, fastest man on track. You wouldn't have booked that, would you? Never in a million years would I have booked that, but there you go. As I say that, we also now have Atlanta Norris team radio.
Orlando, how's the pace, how's the tyres?
Just, yeah, sliding everywhere.
Sliding everywhere. He may be sliding everywhere, but he is the fastest man on track. So, not too bad, I wouldn't think. It's also important to note right now that Sergio Perez is currently lapping in the 26s. That is all the way up to P11 right now. He is lapping at the same times-ish as 11th and 12th and 13th. That is very impressive from Sergio Perez so far. Valtteri Bottas, again, just absolutely nowhere. 27.9 on the previous lap, which is 1.2 seconds slower than Perez. Already 7 seconds off. Oh, that seems a bit early, Lewis. I thought Lewis got overtaken, but no, after just 13 laps or 12 laps, Lewis Hamilton comes into the pits. And we have a slippery surface in Sector 12. Don't tell me Hamilton's got a problem. Lawson also pits. That seems way too early. So Hamilton comes in. He comes ahead of Hülkenberg and Hadjar, which is good. Only just, though. That is very important from Ferrari to get him in and out, as they did. He comes out on the brand new hards, so we'll see what happens with that. But Hamilton, our first top driver to make a pit stop, going for the undercut on George Russell. Then Liam Lawson goes behind Sergio Perez, and oh no, are we going to see a potential Liam Lawson scrappage with Perez once again, as Alonso re-overtakes Bottas? So Lawson is going to be 6 seconds behind Perez. You'd imagine he'd catch up within about 2 or 3 laps. You have 2 new team radios. First of all, from Max Verstappen.
Yeah, it's not like a lot for the tires. Even pulling on the straight, it's quite impressive.
And now Russell comes into the pits as well. This is it makes sense. It's a good move. It's to cover off Lewis Hamilton. Right now, the only real challenger to George Russell, and Max Verstappen also coming into the pits. So, basically, Hamilton's flying. Will Hamilton get the undercut? That is going to be... No. He does close the gap significantly, but it's not enough. And that is a good move by Mercedes, I think. The gap is only 1.5, though, and Hamilton's got the warmed-up tyres. Hang on a minute here. Hamilton is flying. Hold up. Hold the phone. Right, Ghost. This could mean something. Hamilton is cooking. 23.9 in Sector 1. That is best first sector so far. Perez comes into the pits as well, as does Colapinto. And Russell needs to get these tyres up sharpish. And what's just happened there? I don't know. Verstappen comes out behind his teammate. You'd imagine that they'd ask Hadjar to get out of the way, or they'll just pit Hadjar this lap. Antonelli now leads the race, and honestly, his lap times are not bad. They're not bad, but not really. I mean, low 23s was about what they were doing before, as Norris now comes into the pits, and Norris actually really decent pace. Only 2 seconds off Antonelli after 14 laps is very reasonable. And that obviously promotes Leclerc up into the top 2, albeit 7 seconds off Antonelli. We then have Lewis Hamilton setting the new fastest lap of the race with a 21.4. Russell, though, only half a tenth slower. So Russell got those tyres up to temperature real quick, and the undercut would have worked. If Russell stayed out an extra lap, Hamilton would have taken the lead. But Mercedes on it with that, on the strategy, pitting Russell for the hard tyre, and making sure that Hamilton doesn't get that undercut. Hülkenberg and Ocon now coming to the pits as well. And it's actually very... Well, we're only 12 laps in, or we're 14 laps in. And we're already seeing drivers pit from the medium tyre. If these hard tyres don't do like 30 to 40 laps, we could see a 4-stop race, which is just silly. And we have a George Russell team radio from a few minutes ago. I think it's before he pitted.
So Lewis in.
He's already going for a 3.
So Russell predicts that with Hamilton pitting on lap 12, he's going for a 3-stop race. And honestly, that does seem to be the way forward. And with Russell pitting a lap later, yeah, I think it's going to be a 3-stop race. As Antonelli now comes into the pits, as does Oscar Piastri. So Russell gets a massive undercut on his teammate. Hamilton moves up to P3, and now it's just Leclerc out in front, who's probably going to pit within the next lap or 2. Norris goes back ahead of his teammate. Max Verstappen goes ahead of his teammate, and so does Isaac Hadjar. who gets ahead of Piastri, although, of course, Hajar hasn't pitted yet. Oh, wow, Lindblad gets ahead as well. That is not ideal for Oscar. Gasly and Sainz also in. I want to see Perez's first real lap time on these hard tyres. I want to see if it's anything good. We're looking for like a 25, 26 area. Maybe actually a bit more. Maybe a 25 if he's feeling dialed. Bottas now pits as well. 24? Alright, Perez. Best lap of the race for him. Albon will be investigated after the race for a starting procedure infringement. Keep that in mind. George Russell catching by 2 seconds a lap on Charles Leclerc now. Bottas comes out last. And we start lap 16. And Leclerc stays out. This is an interesting strategy. I think Leclerc might actually be going for a two-stopper. One of the only drivers to do that alongside, well, Hajar and Lindblad. And Sainz has also been noted for a starting infringement. So both of the Williams under investigation as Hajar now pits. So I reckon Russell down to Hajar at all three stopping in this race. Basically, anyone that's pitted so far, probably three stopping. Which, when's the last time we saw a three-stop race because of tyre wear, not because of like a late safety car or something? Bortoletto now pits as well. And that is going to see Hajar come out in P11. Not bad, that's basically where he was before everyone pitted, so he's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad at all. Sainz gets past Alonso. This makes sense considering Alonso's tyre age, although Alonso is the only driver who started on the hards, and he's currently lapping into 27s. 3 seconds slower than Sergio Perez on the brand new hards, as we already have a blue flag for Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas has been lapped after just 16 laps. As Charles Leclerc comes into the pits, meaning we have Lindblad, Behrman, and Alonso yet to pit, as Bottas pits again. Oh no. Are we seeing a Bottas retirement, or are we seeing a bit of a tyre testing strategy going on? Team radio from George Russell.
I was managing in that first stint. Could have given me the heads up. You've exposed me to Kimmy now.
I don't think it's going to be long for everyone.
I need an update on the plan then. We're moving to a 3, do you think?
So it's still on plan here, George. Nothing to worry about yet.
That's actually valid from Russell. I know people say he complains a lot, but when you've been told to manage your tyres and then you pit your driver like 10 laps early because you got to cover off Hamilton, you do have to cover off Hamilton, but if your plan was always to cover off Hamilton, then you should have just told him to push. But there you go. Hajar gets past Lawson to get back into the top 10. Really good race by Hajar considering how it started. Team radio from Leclerc.
And box Charles box, we have the gap to cover Piastri.
We don't care about Piastri. Let's look further ahead if we have the pace.
Okay, let me know on flat. We stay out this lap then. Stay out this lap.
So they've stayed out an extra lap for no apparent reason. They've come out ahead of Piastri somehow. Don't know how he's managed it, but there you go. I mean, Piastri was awfully slow, but even so, I don't know how he's managed it. But Leclerc is up in P6, he stayed P6. 1.6 ahead of Piastri, in fact. And now he's 8 seconds off Max Verstappen. Now, as we know, Hamilton is the second quickest driver right now. Well, not at this very second, but in general, he is. Ferrari have a car that can match Mercedes, or if not, they're a little bit worse. Leclerc should be fighting for a P4 right now. He's 8 seconds off Lando Max Verstappen, and he's going to be another 3 seconds beyond that, so he's 11 seconds off Lando Norris. To be fair, it's only another second up the road to Antonelli. As Hajar gets past Behrman to get into the top 9. He's only 3 places down on where he started. So fair play to Hajar. Looking at lap times on the previous lap, I'll wait until lap 18 finishes before I go over lap times. But right now, George Russell was the fastest car on track. Antonelli second fastest. Norris actually third. I am so impressed with Lando Norris so far this race. Norris and McLaren, maybe they've got a better race car than a quali car, but, you know, McLaren, actually saying that, didn't Norris get first in FP2 and they look pretty good in FP3? I don't know, but I'm still impressed by Norris. He's already put, what, 10... He's put 14 seconds on his teammate already, and the race is only 19 laps young. Can't speak English. Previous lap times then, as Bortoletto gets past Alonso. We have got George Russell, 22-1. Hamilton, 22-1. Antonelli, 21-6. Norris, 21-9. Verstappen, 22-4. Lawson gets past Behrman. Leclerc, 22-1. Piastri, 22-2. Agile 21.8 as well. That's a very solid lap time as Behrman comes into the pits, finally. Which means now it's just Lindblad and Alonso who have yet to pit as Valtteri Bottas was retired. That's really tough. That means we won't see a generational race pace graph because Perez was about half a second quicker than Bottas. We're not going to get the graphic now. Long day. So Behrman comes out just ahead of Perez. Behind Perez, actually. Ugh, that's not good. For Behrman, that is. Although you'd imagine he'd get past Perez quickly. But they're saying that, I mean, Perez, he's 1.6 behind, 1.4 behind Alonso. Alonso's right behind Albon. Pace ain't bad. Where are my Pringles? I was right. Alonso's on the grid. My goat's finally winning. Well, I think it's illegal for me to ask what your address is to send you a can of Pringles. You can probably just go down the local shop and buy some. You know what I mean? I wasn't being serious. I thought saying a can of Pringles would rather emphasize the point. But fair play, you were right. Quite an annoying fact, quite honestly, because obviously Perez lost out on a point. But oh well. I'm sure there'll be another race like a Baku or something where there'll be a lot of attrition, a lot of things going down, and we'll see Sergio Perez in the points once again. Now then, will we see a Sergio Perez overtake on Fernando Alonso? It's going to be a bit tricky because I think Behrman's going to go for it as well on Perez. We'll see how it goes. Let's see then. Point 3. Perez, he's got the overtake down the main straight. Should be an easy pass, but obviously Behrman's going to cause problems. Sergio Perez is going to overtake Alonso. Does Behrman overtake Alonso, though? I don't think he does. Fair play. Jalapeno Team Radio.
Okay, Franco, this is an instruction. We need to switch cars into turn 1, please. Switch into turn 1.
Switch cars.
Hafer, into turn 4, please. Turn 4, switch the cars.
It's 1 seconds, bro. Still pushing.
I have no idea what Colapinto's just said, I won't lie. I know they've told the Alpines to swap places. Gasly ahead of Colapinto. Gasly is far quicker, to be fair. Colapinto 25.6, Gasly 23.6. But even so, as Hadjar gets past Lindblad, wow, he caught him sharpish. Jeez Louise. Hadjar is flying right now. I mean, yes, he's 20 seconds off Piastri, but only 2 places down from where he started. Behrman gets past Perez. Reasonable. There we go. So then, lap 21 is about to be completed and we'll go through the lap times. So, George Russell, 22.5. Hamilton, 22.7. Antonelli, 22.2. Lando Norris, 22.3. Max Verstappen, quite a way back now, 5 seconds, but a 22.8. Leclerc sets his best lap of the race with a 21.6. Piastri, 22.8. We have an Antonelli Team Radio.
Happy with pushing.
Hey, firm, Kimmy. Good lap times.
Right, so this is what's actually very frustrating, is that They're telling George to manage. You can tell that they're trying to rig the championship for Antonelli, really. They're telling Russell to manage his tyres. But then they're also telling Antonelli to push. So what's happening is that Antonelli is bringing himself right back into contention. He's only 4 seconds off Hamilton and 6 seconds off the lead. And Lando Norris only 2.5 seconds behind Antonelli. We'll see how it develops, though. Maybe Anthony will burn his tyres out, but he is catching Hamilton and also Russell just way too quick. And I think Russell's realised what's happening, and he might have put the hurry up on because he's just set 2 green mini sectors. But Russell 22.7, Hamilton 22.8, Anthony 22.1, 6 tenths quicker than Russell. We know that Russell is quicker than Anthony this weekend. And he was for the opening stint, so Russell needs to get a move on. Blue flag for Perez. Yeah, not like this. As Alonso pits after just 23 laps, that's all his hard tyres managed. Going off that logic, it's only 10 more until Russell and everyone else will start pitting from the hards. As Lindblad pits, which means now every single driver has made at least 1 pit stop. So essentially, the current, thing is about as accurate as it's gonna get. And Lindblad really not looking good, dropping all the way down to P16. That's how much time he lost because he stayed out an extra 10 laps. Yeesh. Paddy pressed the self-destruct button. It seems like it. It seems like they've done something along those lines. I don't actually know what happened. Bottas kind of just pulled into the pits and just sort of went, nah, I can't be bothered. Russell, 23.2. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That is 8 tenths slower than his teammate on that lap. Hamilton 22.9, Antonelli 22.4, Norris 22.2. But again, Norris still the quickest car on track, which is surprising. Very surprising, to be honest. I would have never expected it, but I'm absolutely up for it. Why not? It's good fun. And we are now... we're just over a third of the way through. A third would have been what? 22? Lap 24? That right. Okay then, previous lap times. We are going to see a Bortoletto overtake on Esteban Ocon. George Russell, 22.8. Hamilton, 22.8. Antonelli, 22.8. Norris, 22.4. Norris has just gained 4 tenths on the top 3 of that lap. 22.8 for Verstappen, 22.4 for Leclerc, 22... Why is everyone doing 22.8s? Like everyone. We had 5 drivers do 22.8s. And Hajjar was just about to do a 22.8, but does a 22.9 instead. And then we've got Leclerc and Norris, fastest cars on track with 22.4s each. As I say that... excuse me. Norris sets his best first sector of his race at 23.7. Hulkenberg Team Radio.
The braking. Dangerous.
Hulkenberg not too happy with Gasly or Lawson. Probably Lawson, to be fair. He is a bit of a prick. I didn't even realise as well Verstappen's on the medium tyre. He is flying considering them tyres, and they're not good. Lap 25 comes to an end. We are going to see a 23.0 for Russell, 23.2 for Hamilton, 22.6 for Antonelli, 22.4 for Norris, And then Verstappen 7 seconds back. He's going to do a 23.0. Leclerc catching really fast at 22.6. Another 4 tenths gain on Verstappen. And then we're going to have Piastri with a 23.0. And Hadjar 19 seconds back from Piastri losing time. Not good. Well, I keep yawning. I know I've only had 3 hours sleep, but come on. Track limits for Antonelli and Ollie Behrman. No, I lied. I don't know why I said Behrman. It's because he got a blue flag. Colapinto's got his track limits. That's their first warnings. Remember, you get 4. You get 3, you get a warning. You do it again, you get a penalty. Long day if you do that. I mean, Monaco, to be fair, I feel like getting track limits anywhere nowadays is just impressive. Because I think Austria is kind of acceptable, especially with the final corner, as Lindblad passes Ocon. And apart from that, especially here at Spain, the only place I can see you getting track limits is the final corner on the exit curb of the main straight and turn 9, like the overhill, almost flat out corner. If you're getting track limits anywhere else, I don't actually get how you're managing it. Previous lap times, 22.9 for Russell, 23.3 for Hamilton, 22.6 for Antonelli, 22.6 for Norris, 23.2 for Verstappen, 22.7 for Leclerc, 22.7 for Piastri, and honestly, I'm just going to start ignoring Hadjar because he's just too far back. Guys, stop yawning! Back! What is Perez's lap times currently? 26. That's really, like... That is pretty bad, actually. He's essentially completely on his own now. I mean, he's 7 seconds behind Albon. 22 seconds ahead of Alonso. He really is just by himself. And to be fair, he did say that we're probably going to finish higher than where we started. Not going to happen, boss. Hamilton pits. Exciting. So Hamilton, after just 16 laps, comes in again, going for an undercut. Again. He's going for a 4-stopper. I'm so confused by this strategy. It's either genius or it's really dumb. So Hamilton comes out in P7, 2.5 seconds behind Piastri on the brand new medium tyre. The medium tyre can only do 15 laps. It will only take you to lap 43. There's still 23 laps left. So unless he's got another set of hards, he's going to have to do another 2 stops. I'm so puzzled. Now, here's the question, though. Will Russell immediately pit to cover him off, allowing his teammate back into contention for the win? Survey says... no, Russell stays out. Maybe they've seen Hamilton stuck behind Piastri and think, you know what, we've got a chance here. But they might also be playing the long game. We'll have to wait and see. This race has only got a bit more exciting with the strategies. Hamilton with the fastest sector to that previous lap. He's now going to look to overtake Oscar Piastri. And he kind of needs to at this point. 0.1. And he gets the move done. Hamilton up into the top 6. 6 seconds behind his teammate now. Black and white flag for Antonelli track limits. Ew. One more for Antonelli and he gets a 5-second penalty. So then, Hamilton only 22 seconds off the lead right now on the brand new medium tyre. Wonder if Russell's been given the command to go and push on. As I say that, we have a team radio.
To update, Lewis will be on a Prix. We are still racing at Norris, so we need to keep these lap times going.
So Russell's been told to keep it up and stay out, which I don't mind the idea, but of course, he is going to concede the lead once he pits to his teammate and to potentially Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton now only 21 seconds back, so that is exactly what's going to happen. Max Verstappen comes into the pits and drops behind Piastri. Will probably come out ahead of his teammate. So that's Verstappen's second stop. So as we know, Hamilton is going for a 3-stop, maybe even a 4-stop. Russell then, maybe only going for a 2-stopper. Although saying that, look at Antonelli by the way. Antonelli, that lap, 8 tenths quicker. 1.8 behind his teammate. Russell needs to hurry up. I don't know what game he's playing, but Russell is so slow. Gasly gets past Hulkenberg for P10. Bro, if I yawn one more time, I'm kicking off. I can't lie, this race is boring, but I mean, come on. Hulkenberg pits from, I think, P13 or 14 for the second time this race. Behrman gets past his teammate as well for P15. Russell, look at that by the way. Russell 23.6, Antonelli 22.5. Antonelli team radio as well.
It's not going to give me black or white flag for track limits, so no more of those please, otherwise it's a 5-second penalty.
I am really confused. I'm really puzzled by what Mercedes is cooking. It's either sabotage for Russell or they're just absolute geniuses and I can't work it out. Because what I'm seeing is Russell is driving really slow. I mean, previous lap 23.6. Antonelli 22.5. 1.1 seconds quicker. So unless Russell's managing, he's about to unleash, like, unforeseen levels of pace. The race already started, indeed, mate. We're on lap 31. We're just under halfway through. You've missed quite a bit in terms of laps, but nothing's really happened apart from Hajar going off, and that's about it. Now, we could actually see an Antonelli pass for the lead here, which will obviously not make Russell too happy. 0.6. But Russell holds on, but this is what I'm confused about. What is Russell cooking as Hamilton gets past his teammate and sets the best lap of the race? I'll tell you what, this pace that Hamilton is on right now, he's 3 seconds a lap quicker than Russell. If he does that for like 8 or 9 laps, he will have gained that pit stop back. And he's just set another fastest sector 1. The way this is going, Hamilton could actually win this. Because he is flying. Fastest sector 1 of anybody, 23.4. 4 tenths quicker than Russell. Sector 2, 1 second quicker than Russell. Now, of course, Antonelli is going to be a bit of an issue, considering his pace. And actually, here we go. I should not look at Hamilton. I should look at P1. It's only 0.3 between the Mercedes. We could see a pass for the lead here. We're going to see a pass for the lead, surely. 0.1 between the two Mercedes. Still 0.1. Why is Antonelli not going for a pass? Unless there's team orders involved, I don't see why Antonelli hasn't just sent it around the outside and took the place. Hamilton team radio.
Let me know what time they need to do.
20.9, Charlie's in forward to a different strategy.
20.9 is what Hamilton's been told. Hadjar and Perez both pit for the second time this race. Actually, just before that, Perez got past Albon without me realising. Go on, why go? So let's see the lap times then, as we go to lap 34. As Russell's getting his lap times down now as well. 22.8 for him, 22.6 for Antonelli. But this is the thing I don't get, is that Russell was driving really slow in the 23s. Antonelli in the low 22s this whole time. He's still in the low 22s, while Russell is only 23.4. So, either Russell's really slow, or Mercedes have massively underestimated the grip of the hard tyre. Hamilton 21.0. That is a 10th off what Ferrari have targeted for him to do. But I imagine that's still about bang on, to be fair. Hulkenberg retires from the race as well. Tough luck. I mean, Hamilton's only 10 seconds back now. And he's still catching by over 2 seconds a lap. I mean, at this point, at this very moment in time, I think the driver who wins will be whichever Mercedes pits first. Because if Russell pits first, which you think he would because he's the driver in front, he'll undercut his teammate and be able to stay out for longer and also have a bit of gap. If Antonelli pits first, then he'll have an undercut on his teammate to take the lead and get track position. But let's hear Antonelli's team radio.
Give you a reminder for track limits. Let's not take any risks.
Okay, no one cares. Hamilton team radio.
Am I catching now?
You are catching really well. Keep pushing, keep pushing.
I love that from Ferrari. Keep pushing, you're catching pretty quick, come on. I love that. That's great. I mean, his engine is useless. Actually, if it's the same one from last year, he's useless, but I enjoyed that. So Hamilton, 20.9. 1.7 seconds quicker than Russell. 1.8 seconds quicker than Antonelli. 2.2 seconds quicker than Norris. That's fast. 8.4 seconds off the lead for Hamilton. Now bear in mind, Hamilton and Russell, they both have one more stop. So effectively, Hamilton's got to get this pace, get every single bit of pace out of that medium tyre. And then when Russell pits, Hamilton will then also pit and then just hope he's got pace. And that's about it, really. Right, Pit, I'm doing pretty good, mate, yeah. I mean, this race has been a bit on the boring side, I won't lie. But it could get very exciting by the end. Very exciting. And Antonelli got 2 team radios.
It won't be long for George. We are at risk with Norris behind at 3.9 seconds. So let's not slow each other down racing. We need to keep that gap to Norris nice and healthy, now at 4.3.
So there are team orders at play here. Antonelli being told to keep Russell in front. As Norris comes into the pits and comes out just behind his teammate, that unleashes Hamilton, who hasn't got to worry about a gap anymore. Hamilton 21.1 on that previous lap and setting a purple mini sector as well. Ocon comes into the pits as well. I wish I looked at the tyres that the drivers have left, because if Hamilton's got a set of hards left, he's fine. If he's only got mediums now, because you got to think, he's done soft, hard, medium so far, and he's going to be pitting again. If he's only got a medium left, he's kind of cooked. If he's got a hard left, he could win. He could win. He could very much win, very easily. Although his pace does seem to be falling off quite dramatically now after just a few laps. As Antonelli, I lied, I thought he took the lead. No, he didn't. George Russell comes into the pits, and that is about the latest that you could possibly pit Russell. So, George Russell should come out behind Piastri. Maybe. No, I'm lying. Maybe? Either there or he'll lose out to Piastri as well. It should just be there, though. Oh, Piastri pits, that's fine. So Russell comes out 4th. He's going to be 6 seconds behind Leclerc. Piastri pits, he's going to come out ahead of Hadjar in 7th. So, Antonelli now is unleashed onto the racetrack to set some good lap times. Hamilton, only 4 seconds off the lead now. Keep in mind, though, Russell, 22 seconds off the lead, and he's made his final pit stop. Russell might be going until the end on these tyres. Saying that, though, he's got to do 29 laps on those tyres. That is a big ask. That is a massive ask. He could do it. I mean, Antonelli's got decent lap times on 22 lap old tyres. Leclerc's doing very good lap times on 20 lap old hards. So it's definitely possible. It's just going to be a bit on the tough side. Kimi Team Radio.
It won't be long, Kimi. Got to cover Norris.
So essentially, they told Antonelli to stay behind Russell so Russell could pit ahead of Norris. So now they can pit Antonelli, who's going to come out ahead of Norris as well. There it is. Russell, fastest Sector 2 of anybody. As Hamilton now leads the race. And Norris sets the fastest lap. Norris could get in front of Antonelli here. Hold on a minute. This could be really bad for Mercedes if Norris gets ahead of Kimi. And it looks like by just the skin of their teeth, Norris manages to stay behind. Jeez Louise, that was close. 0.2 of a second. That is the clutch factor in Mercedes pit crew as George Russell sets the fastest Sector 1. Now, this is where it's going to swing back into Russell's favour, as he is going to be undercutting Lewis Hamilton. But then, keep in mind, Russell was going to the end, I think. Hamilton is doing one more stop, so Hamilton is going to keep going until he's lapping in the 21s, 22s. He's going to then pit again, and then he's going to be undercutting Russell. So it's going to flip back round, but of course, Russell ain't going to be pitting again. So Hamilton has got to somehow find pace to find a whole pit stop on Russell. Gap is currently 17 seconds. I don't know about that one, boss. I don't know about that one. I don't think that's going to happen. We'll see, though. We'll see what goes on. Lindblad comes into the pits. So then, George Russell doesn't set the fastest lap. He has a very smelly Sector 2, actually, losing half a second to himself. Does set a 20.7. That's 6 tenths quicker than Hamilton. 21.3 for Hamilton, 23.5 for Leclerc, 20.7 for Russell. Antonelli's on his outlap, so it doesn't count. Norris, 21.1. Verstappen, 21.9. Piastri, 22.1. Hadjar, 22.1. We are now seeing every... yeah, right. So, what's happened here is that everyone 10th and below has been lapped. It's Alex Albon, DNF'd from the race, meaning Perez has gained 1 place. And we might be on for a Fernando Alonso overtake here as well. Down the main straight. Go on, my son. Yes! Sergio Perez up 2 places this race. That's what you'd like to see. Hamilton Team Radio.
And we are planning other 7 laps on this set. This is our race. Give everything these 7 laps. It's the critical moment. We have our chance.
So then, that is the communication from Ferrari. Hamilton, next 7 laps. Give it absolutely everything you've got in that car for 7 odd laps. And then they're going to go back onto the soft tyre, I presume, or even another medium until the end of the race. Previous lap times, Hamilton 21.8, Russell 21.1. Only 7 tenths quicker. That isn't too bad. Because what you got to keep in mind here, is yellow flag in sector 10. Who is that? Where is 10? No one's gone off. No one's... Is it Leclerc? No. Someone's gone off. But no one's losing places. Might have a bit of debris. George Russell, Team Radio.
And we are forecast to be battling with Lewis end of race on that 3-stop.
VSC deployed, okay. I think we've got a bit of debris. No one's off. No one's lost places. I think we've got a bit of debris on the track. VSC, though, that actually helps Hamilton. They could pit now. Double yellow. Okay, that would usually mean that there's someone off. But I'm looking. No one's off. Marshall's on track. What? Okay, sure. Piastri, I think Piastri might have gone off and got some gravel on his car or something. I don't know. I don't know. If that VSC came out just like, you know, 5 laps later, that could have potentially gifted Hamilton the race win. This does still help Hamilton because it means that Russell can't gain for a lap or two. And that's massive. What you don't want is a full safety car at this stage. Max Verstappen pits and fights with Leclerc on the exit. Comes out 5th. That's a good stuff. That's a good stop by Red Bull, to be fair. Get him in now. Better than on the brand new sauce. I don't know if you're going to do 25 laps on that. Good luck, mate. So yeah, this massively aids Hamilton. Like, massively. It could have been even bigger because, I mean, like I was saying, if this happened 5 laps later, Hamilton could have pitted when he was supposed to, go into the pits, brand new tyres, and he'll still have the lead of the race until the end. But this still helped Hamilton. As Hamilton pits! I was not expecting that. Okay. Right then, Lewis Hamilton comes into the pits after 14 laps. He better have a set of hard tyres. If I see red, Ferrari is cooked. But what should happen is he should come out back in the lead. Oh, he's got a hard tyre. And the track's gone green. That is either VSC ending. That is the most perfectly timed thing. George Russell, has he got within a second then? Okay, right. Track is clear. We're back underway. Lewis Hamilton is in the lead of the Grand Prix on brand new hard tyres. George Russell in second. Kimi Antonelli in third. Lando Norris in fourth. These 4 drivers are all in contention for the win. Lando Norris is a bit like the bear in Arlington, Texas meme. Because what are you doing in fourth? Only 4 seconds off the lead. I'm not too sure. Lewis Hamilton flying! Look at those purple sectors! This is it! This is Hamilton's best chance to win for Ferrari. He has got to do it now on pure pace. That is what he's got to do. He has got to match Russell. He's got to beat Russell. Come on! We need this. We need this bad. This will feed generations. Hamilton Team Radio.
And you are in front.
Oh, his engineer sounds so happy.
Great job, guys.
Hamilton is sweating. Jeez Louise, what's happened there? Right then, Hamilton, 3 seconds in the lead now from George Russell. Keep in mind, Hamilton has a 5-lap tyre advantage over George Russell, a 4-lap tyre advantage over Kimi Antonelli, and a 6-lap tyre advantage over Lando Norris as Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap of the race. Although saying that, he is 20 seconds off, so it's cool, but he will be fighting Leclerc for 5th. But anyway, who cares about that? We have got one of the most insane generational battles for the lead you could ever hope to see. Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, hard tyres, 23 laps. Come on, let's have it. Oh, Nelly Lula. And Fernando Alonso DNFs from the race as well. I'm just surprised Perez is still here. I mean, 38 seconds off Ocon. He's been lapped twice. Go on, my son. 3.3 for Lewis now. Ugh. I'll tell you what it is, Hamilton. Hamilton's Sector 1 is a bit dreary because he hasn't got a good engine. Sector 2, Hamilton is quick. Sector 2, yeesh, he's dangerous. Previous lap times, 20.3 for Hamilton, 20.6 for Russell, 20.9 for Antonelli, 20.9 for Norris, I was going to say 20.2 for Max. He hadn't even finished the lap yet. I'm only going to read the top 4 now because they're the only relevant ones. Not relevant's the wrong word, but, you know, I'm not waiting 20 seconds to read the other lap times. Russell Team Radio.
24 laps remaining. That's the race up ahead of you. Got 1.3 behind.
Hold up! Hamilton has been noted for a yellow flag infringement. Oh, no. No. Oh, you can't do this to me now. You've done it with Perez last week. You can't do it to Hamilton this week. Surely not. How an Albon and Hulkenberg out? I'll be honest, mate, I have no idea. They kind of just pulled into... All of them have just pulled into the... Actually, oh! I didn't even... sorry, everyone. That is horrible broadcasting by me. I didn't even realise. Alonso must have crashed out. Because, look, he only completed... That is Sector 10-ish. And that's what caused the VSC. Oh, wow, valid. Okay, there you go, then. Fair play. But, yeah, Albon, Hulkenberg, Bottas, and Stroll all just drove into the pits. I think... Oh, Alonso pulled out? Oh, okay, that's the same. It's not the same thing, but... He stopped on track, and that's what caused the... Because I was wondering what caused the VSC. I didn't know. But that makes a lot of sense. So, okay, cool. So Alonso mechanical failure, can't make it back to the pits. Albon, Hulkenberg, Bottas and Stroll do make it back to the pits. Hamilton 3.9 in front. Fastest lap of the race. This is it! This is it! I am not having none of it. And I tell you what, Hamilton will probably, if he... Hang on. What are you doing, Albon? You can't just come back out. Well, I suppose he can, actually. It is completely legal. Perez did it in Japan 23. So Albon, out of the depths, returns into the Grand Prix, 10 laps behind, on brand new soft tyres. Fair play. Perez last, I mean... Yeah. What do you expect, really? He was half a second quicker than his teammate per lap until his teammate DNF. He was quicker than Alonso. As Hamilton goes even quicker. Oh, I didn't know he doesn't. I lied. He's only 7 milliseconds off. Hamilton 20.1. Russell 20.7. Antonelli 20.7. All we have to hope is that Hamilton isn't burning his tyres out and he can keep this pace up. What's his finishing bonus? He really does. And he deserves it because he's driving. In my opinion, he's a top 7 driver on the grid right now. Or top 8, maybe. I think... You know what? Put him ahead of Leclerc at this point. Leclerc has had 4 stinkers in a row. Miami stunk. Canada stunk. Monaco stunk. And now Spain has been a stinker. Honestly, put Perez above Leclerc. Hamilton, Antonelli, Norris, Verstappen, Gasly. That's it. I think Perez is the 6th best driver. No bias, of course. Next lap times then for lap 46. Lewis Hamilton, 20.3. Russell, 20.7. Antonelli, 20.7. Norris, 20.8. Norris starting to fall back a little. Actually, no, he isn't. He really isn't. And I feel like with me, I haven't realised how quick McLaren are. Because they weren't that good in quali for Q1 and 2. But Q3 they were decent, and practice they were decent. But Norris is only 8 seconds off the lead. He's only 3 seconds off Russell. If that Mercedes get a little bit feisty, Norris could nick a P2 or even a podium at this point. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's right there. Hamilton, though, 5.4 out in front. 3/10 quicker than Russell in Sector 1. He sets his best Sector 1 of the race so far, and this could be an outrageous day in F1 history, in Formula 1 history, in F1 history, in Ferrari history, in Hamilton's history. As he's on course... Oh, no, I lied. He's a second off in Sector 2. I was going to say Hamilton's on for another fastest lap, but no. Thing is, I want to get my Ferrari kit out, but I feel like I'm just going to curse them. Because that happened with Perez. I put the Cadillac shirt on because he was 11th, and then he got promoted to P10, and then obviously he lost it again. Lap 47, 20.1 for Hamilton, 20.9 for Russell, 20.8 for Antonelli, 20.9 for Norris. You know what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm getting it out. We simply have to. The occasion, it's once in a life. I mean, to be fair, I say that. I think if Hamilton will win eventually this season, especially because they've got a good car. But yeah, hang on a second. Right, now I won't lie. No further... Oh, thank goodness. No further investigation for Hamilton. No further investigation. That is ginormous. Right. Only thing is, I've got this Ferrari hat, which is actually a Leclerc hat. I should have got a Hamilton one, but oh well. I think I've got a Hamilton shirt, but this is just a normal one, I think. I don't know if it's got any number. Oh, hang on. Ah, this is also Leclerc. In defense, this was from 2025 or 24 when he went. Oh no, it was from 24 when Sainz was his teammate, and I won't get in a 55 shirt. Only thing is, well, this hat don't really fit on my bonds, so it's either gonna have to be an angle where it's like this, where it balanced. Nah, I look like such an absolute freak of that. That ain't gonna work. Let's go for one of them. Can't see anything. There we go. And then do this. Oh yeah, that works lovely. I'll look great. Right, we're locked. Previous lap times. 20.3 for Hamilton. 20 second faster. Hamilton was a second faster than both Mercedes. Oh my goodness. Ollie Behrman overtakes Bortoletto for P14. The Albon comeback is here. Watch Albon catch up 8 laps and get past Perez. I guarantee that will happen. Like, genuinely. I think what's really impressing me about this Hamilton drive, as I say that he drops a bit of a state, is his worst lap on these current tyres. It's still half a second quicker than Russell. Thing is, Hamilton's best lap is a 20.1. Up until that previous lap, he was lapping in the 20.2s and 3s. He was only 2/10 off his best lap every lap for a good 8 or 9 laps. That is incredible. And he is now 7 seconds ahead of Russell. Now, the only thing stopping Hamilton, there's 3 things. 1, safety car, red flag, he crashes, or something crazy happens with the tyre degradation, and suddenly Mercedes are lapping a second quicker. As we have a Lando Norris team radio, the first one of the day.
And Lando, our race is having better pace over the whole stint than the cars ahead.
I just said paid, bro. Like, I had to go with them. Or I drop back and just go. So, I can't do both, I'm afraid.
I don't know what he's just said, but something about having no rhythm, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't understand how these engineers hear what their drivers are saying, because I just heard it and I ain't got a clue. I only heard about 3 English words, which was drop back and rhythm, and that was it. Hamilton then, Hamilton 20.4. Russell 21.5. He's a second a lap quicker. Essentially, that's what's going on. Hamilton is a second a lap quicker. Oh my Jesus. Norris Team Radio.
So Lando, at the end of the race, I want to be within of Kimi ahead. He's got 3 strikes already.
So essentially, what that means is they don't think they're going to get a pass. So they want to be within 5 seconds of Antonelli. So if he does get a track limits penalty, they will be promoted onto the podium. Very valid strategy. Very valid. I like it. Essentially now, we've got 15 laps left. What Hamilton has to do, the way he's currently driving and with how quick he is, well, he could be in a position where he can lose a second a lap and still win. Previous lap times, as we start lap 52, Hamilton, 20.9, his worst lap on the hard tyre, still 7 tenths quicker than Russell, 4 tenths quicker than Antonelli, only 0.6 behind his teammate. This would be catastrophic if Russell loses third to his teammate. Russell has been on it and dialed this entire weekend. Fastest in practice 1, fastest in practice 3, fastest in qualifying, fastest for the first sort of 30-40 laps. So to finish potentially to finish behind his teammate is just, I'll just give up at that point. I'll pack it in. I'm going home. Team Radio from Hamilton.
15 laps to go. You are doing a good job, so you can go on.
Whoa! Hamilton's just pulled 7 tenths in that sector. Jesus wept. Okay. Yeah, weren't expecting that. Valid. I like how Perez is 3 seconds a lap slower than everyone else. He's going to get lapped by Ocon at this point. Cadillac really not on the pace. Really bad. Oh, 2 team radios from both Mercedes. Hang on, could be a move. Half a second between Antonelli and Russell. Remember, Norris is right there, by the way. 1.6 off. He's there. No move happens. Right, Antonelli first.
Okay, 1.9, 1.3 behind.
I have more pace, Fred.
Copy that, Kimmy.
Kimi being told he's got so much more pace. Russell, don't let him by. Don't let him.
We'll need to pick up the pace here, George.
Okay, Russell's been given the hurry up. They better not switch these cars around, because as it stands, Hamilton has got pace to go and win. I feel like Antonelli's going to do that thing where he goes like 2 seconds a lap quicker and nick this. Oh, Nelly. We're about to approach lap 54. Norris Team Radio.
And Lando, it's quite clear that Antonelli's been off track more than 3 times. We've reported it to the FIA. We expect he should get at least a 5-second penalty.
Well, there you have it then. McLaren pretty much certain that Antonelli is going to get a track limits penalty, which would put Norris on the podium, and crucially, an extra 3 points between him and his teammate. Antonelli and his teammate. Right now, Russell gains 3. Antonelli gets dropped to 4th, he goes to 5. It's better than losing 5, or like last weekend, losing 25, do you know what I mean? Previous lap times, Hamilton 21.2, Russell 21.8, Antonelli 21.9, Norris 21.8. Verstappen 21.2, by the way. Verstappen is flying. I'm very impressed with Verstappen so far. 4 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Keep in mind, Ferrari have the second best car, or joint best. And he is diffing Leclerc on the medium tyre. That medium tyre should not be as quick as it is. That Red Boy is definitely treating his medium tyres gently. Lap 54 is going to end. Hamilton, 20.9. 11 seconds now ahead of Russell. Russell, 21.4. Antonelli, 21.7. Norris, 21.8. Trying to think of ways this goes wrong for Hamilton, and honestly, all I can think of is a safety car or a red flag. A VSC, that's no problem. But a safety car or VSC, and well, that could change everything. It groups the field up. I mean, yes, Hamilton will get a free stop for some softs, but even so, Russell might send it. I love just looking down at Checo Perez every now and again, watching him just struggle around on them medium tyres by himself. He has actually massively improved his pace somehow. Oh no, he's done that. Bortoletto now pits. But you know what? I'm going to watch Hamilton's onboard, actually. Where is he? I just want to see the difference in driving between Hamilton and Perez. Obviously, one's in a top car with good tyres. The other one's in the slowest car with bad tyres. Hamilton another half a second quicker than Russell. Looking good. You just wait, sunshine. You just wait. As Rocky would say. Is that his name? I don't know. I just want to watch Hamilton through this first sector. Of course, this is about 30 seconds delayed from what you're seeing. See, like, the thing is, I don't know if it's just me or if it's something with, like, these cars, but even though Hamilton is bringing that thing, literally getting every 10th out of it, it just doesn't look like he's pushing very hard. But obviously he is. It just, I think it's the smooth steering. The lack of, like, snaps of oversteer and things like that. It's making it look like Hamilton is just kind of cruising. Even though he's given that thing literally everything. Previous lap times on lap 57. Hamilton 21.0. Russell 22.0. The second quicker. Antonelli 21.7. Norris 22.1. Still hearing nothing about a potential Antonelli penalty for track limits. We'll see what happens, but I think that's all I need to see from Hamilton. I'm going to stick on Lando Norris now because he's in a bit of a scrap with the Mercedes. Never mind, where are they? Wow, 2 seconds is a lot, huh? 1.8. I could barely see the Mercedes down the main straight. A fair play. We're about to start lap 58. We're within the final 10 now. This is the home stretch for Hamilton. Sainz comes into the pits for some reason. Brand new softs until the end. Good work. What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, yeah. I find it hilarious how, like, irrelevant Lando Norris has been this season. And I don't mean irrelevant as in, like, he's been crap. He's actually been really good. It's just, his car is so shit that for a reigning world champion, he's not really putting up much of a defense. I suppose that's the thing about winning a title just before a regulation change. I mean, that could have happened to Verstappen in 2022. He could have won in 2021, Red Bull goof up 22 in the new ground effect cars, and Norris wins 4 in a row from there, or 3 in a row, 22, 3 and 4, and 5, so yeah, 4 in a row. I mean, when you win a title in the, oh yeah, that is a point. I did actually predict the Hamilton win, didn't I? Actually, hang on, can we appreciate my genius? I mean, it wasn't that hard to predict in terms of, like, probability. This was the most likely one, but I did actually predict this current top 5. If this top 5 stays as it is, I predicted that top 5. I said Hamilton, Russell swap, the rest of the top 5 stay the same. F1's prediction, though, not going too well. F125's prediction, I should say. Have they got any out of 20 right now? Bortoleto passes Ocon. I think they might have one. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, that is impressive. So far, F125 has got 0 out of 20. I think that's genuinely impressive. Even with, like, the bottom 10. 0 out of 25. Exactly 0. To be fair, Matteo, you did say that. I also said that. My prediction was Hamilton, Russell, and Norris, Verstappen, so I could be on for a 5 out of 5. Jeez Louise, what a time to be alive it is. Indeed. Wow. We are almost in the 60s now. Hamilton's about to start lap 60. And he does with a 21.1. And he was with a team radio from the man himself.
And beaming free suggestion.
I'm happy where I am. Leave me to it.
Russell 22-1.
Hamilton sounds like he's about to cry. So Hadjar pits from 8th. He weren't going to catch Piastri. But even so. Brand new softs. He's going to go and nick the fastest lap, which seems a bit pointless considering you don't get a point for fastest lap anymore, so why? I don't know. What is interesting, though, is I feel we need to bring this up. First of all, there's only half a second between Antonelli and Russell. Norris dropping back massively. He was 1.8, it's now 3.4. He needs to stay within 5 seconds because McLaren think Antonelli is on for a 5-second penalty for track limits. Then, I also want to look at Norris's gap to Piastri. It is currently, I can't do basic maths, it's 32 seconds. Lando Norris has put 32 seconds on his teammate. Ish. Verstappen has put 42 seconds on his teammate. Although I can give Hadjar a pass because he has pitted an extra time. And he did have a spin at the start and started from, like, last. So you should probably take out 30 seconds. So even with... And then he goes into P2. That not only ruins my prediction, that also ruins Russell. What has happened to George Russell this race? Genuinely. Russell was on it throughout all 3 practice sessions and qualifying. We come into the race. First 20, 30 laps, he was on it. All of a sudden, he is incredibly slow. Since he put the hard tyre on, his hard tyre pace has been shocking. I thought he was managing at first, but no, he really is just that slow. So Russell has now lost P2 in this race. And unless unless Antonelli gets a 5-second penalty, that means Antonelli will gain another 3 points on his teammate in the Drivers' Championship, extending his lead over Russell. But of course, right now as it stands, he's going to lose 8 points to Lewis Hamilton. It's a crazy thing to say. My top 5 was Kimi P1, Hamilton P2, Russell P3, Norris P5, P4. That's actually pretty valid. I mean, you've got 2. But you've got 3. I mean, you swap Hamilton and Antonelli around, you're 5 for 5. I was 5 for 5 until Russell got pocketed by his teammate. Up until that point, I was 5 for 5. I said Hamilton, Russell, Antonelli, Norris, Verstappen. But of course, that's a bit... And yeah, this Hamilton pace... And... Oh. Well, that happened. How was Russell... Oh. Oh. Brace yourself. We could hear some Italian moulding. Hang on.
So, Kimmy, you've got 5 laps remaining. So just warning for track limits everywhere. Turn 5 exit, turn 10 exit.
So, Kimmy's off, essentially. That is what's happened here. Kimmy's off the track and safety car. Surely it just ends under the safety car, right? Surely. I'm sorry for not sounding as excited as I should be. I'm lost for words, essentially. I don't really know what to say.
Lost the power steering. Oh, I'm losing the power steering.
Does anyone know if Russell killed him or did he crash on his own? Please tell me Russell killed him. That'd be so funny. Please. Please, please, please tell me someone ran him off the road. Oh, his car just died. Oh. That's a bit boring. His car just stopped. Well then, we have got an electric end to this Grand Prix. I lied, by the way. I think we're going to be ending on the safety car. Antonelli's car is literally on the circuit. And we've only got 3 laps left. So, I think they won't end the safety car. They won't do a final lap shootout like 2021. So, I believe this will end under the safety car, which is a bit of a shame for one very small reason, which simply means that Hamilton's 25-second lead goes away. But it should end under the safety car as Leclerc pit. Okay. Leclerc pits. Fair enough. Why? Is the question. Why? Even if your car doesn't work properly, you could still, you know, still just drive. Is he retiring as well? I think he is. I think Leclerc's retiring from the race. Right, Jim? Wow, what an end to this race. We are potentially going to see the safety car end the race with Hamilton as your winner and 2 retirements, big retirements, in the last 3 laps. Kimi Antonelli and George Russell, not George, why have I said George Russell? Charles Leclerc retire from the race. Wow. Shame for Perez, really, because he's going to be P14? Actually, he wasn't going to... That's actually... How the hell did he get 10th in Monaco? How many DNFs were there? There's going to be, what, 7 DNFs and he's still going to be last? My. Well, what was looking like it's going to be 5 out of 5 for my prediction is actually going to be 2 out of 5 currently. Piastri has somehow snuck his way. VSC ending. We're getting a final lap shootout. Oh my... No. No, no. No. Why are we doing a last lap shootout when Russell's 23 seconds behind? What? I'm so confused. So essentially, they've said VSC. Oh, VSC ending. I lied. Alright. It says track clear though. Oh, I don't know what's going on. We're about to see though. Are we actually going to go racing again for one final full speed lap for no reason? About to find out when we cross the line. If we see any green mini sectors, then we are actually racing for one more lap. If not, we're going to end under... It should just end under the safety car because there was a bit of gravel on track and there's 19 seconds between the top two. We'll see by this sector 1 though. Lewis seems to be giving it some. We'll find out in a second. And yes, we are getting one more racing lap. This is actually going to be better for Hamilton, though. Hamilton, if he doesn't crash, touch wood, everyone touch some wood. Cross heart, all that bollocks. Hamilton will get to finish the race at full racing speed, 20 seconds ahead, without a safety car finish. He has done it under green flag conditions, which is really cool. That's really, really cool. So then, after 66 laps of action, and a really impressive strategy from Ferrari in a very well-timed virtual safety car, Lewis Hamilton took the lead around lap 40, and the pace he has shown has been nothing short of sensational. No one was going to beat him today, even if everyone else, even if it won a VSC, Hamilton was going to win. Hamilton had a stinky 2025, he comes into 2026, and Lewis Hamilton wins the Spanish Grand Prix. I can't believe what we're seeing. Who would have thought after 2025 that out of the 2 Ferrari drivers, Hamilton would win a Grand Prix? Oh my... I don't know what to say. Lewis Hamilton wins. George Russell takes second. A massive day for Russell. With that Kimi Antonelli failure, Russell is going to gain 18 points on his teammate. Hamilton is going to gain 25 on Antonelli. Lando Norris takes a surprise podium. Max Verstappen takes 4th. Good race by him. Oscar Piastri finishes 25 seconds off his teammate in P5. Hadjar takes P6. Gasly and Colapinto take P7 and 8. Double points for Alpine. Double points for Racing Bulls as well. Bortoleto finishes 11th, Sainz 12th, Ocon 13th, Perez 14th. Every other driver DNFs, apart from Albon, who's just kind of chilling. And then you go. Lewis Hamilton has won a Grand Prix for Ferrari, is 106th. I think. Or is 105th? I don't know. Who cares? He's won a race for Ferrari. What a time to be alive. There he is. Wow. Generational stuff from Lewis. Genuinely out there, just... I mean, it was always going to be possible. And that VSC was very fortunate, but even so. What a time to be alive. What happened to Antonelli? His car just stopped working, mate. 3 laps to go. His car, he just pulled over and stopped. A bit like Russell in Canada. And honestly, I don't really care about copyright anymore. We need to play it because we need to. Hang on. We've got the team radio. This could be the best team radio anyone's ever heard in Formula 1. Here we go.
Well done, Luis. Well done. Finally, you got you deserved the first year that we will always remember. Thank you.
Congratulations with G. Good job.
Ciao ragazzi. Grazie a tutti. Marinello. Thank you so much. You've helped me achieve this dream, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you for everyone pushing so hard back at home. I'm so proud of you. And to my family, I love you. And to the fans, thank you for continuing to remind me who I am. Couldn't have done this without you. Grazie.
Grazie a te, Luis.
It's not over yet either.
Let's go! Forza Ferrari! Forza Ferrari! Guys, thank you for those great pit stops as well. Sorry I have to talk, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you.
There you go. Right, get it back on. Bro, let me watch the lead and race. Ah! Lewis gonna win. The race is over, mate. Lewis has won. Oh my goodness, Hamilton sent it into his team when he pulled over. That was a dive and a half, let me tell you. Jeez Louise. He sent it like no one's business. But it's fair play. I mean, look, you have to say, he got very lucky with the safety car, or the virtual safety car, allowing him to pit and only lose half the time with a normal pit stop. However, I'd argue, with that pace he has just shown, he could have easily won this race without that virtual safety car. He was on average a second lap quicker than George Russell. No. He was a second lap quicker than Russell every single lap. Pretty much the entire hard stint. So, even if that VSC didn't arrive, I feel like he still would have won. And that's really cool. I mean, I've said it before. Hamilton is nowhere near my favourites. If I had to, like, put all these drivers on a tier list of, like, who I'd back in, like, a driver's championship, Hamilton is very mid-table, you know? Norris, Verstappen, Piastri, Perez, Bottas, Sainz, Albon, Behrman, Leclerc, Alonso, Hulkenberg. He's in that kind of mid-bracket. This is a really cool moment. And it's what I was saying in Monaco. I want Hamilton to win a race, not because I particularly root for him, but because of the occasion and atmosphere. This is going to do numbers on social media. Let me tell you about it. This is going to do numbers. I didn't think it would come at Spain. I didn't think it would be until much later in the year. But Ferrari brought an upgrade package. It works. They're looking good. And Hamilton's won his first race for Ferrari. So valid. Team radio from Lando Norris.
And that's P3. P3. What a mate.
Well done. Race. Sit back on the podium, guys. Please just keep it going. We need to catch them up. We need to catch them up.
Okay, team radio from George Russell.
Okay, so E2.
Tough race. Yeah, sorry for Kimmy.
Yeah, agreed. Tough race for the team there.
His engineer doesn't give a shit about Kimi Antonelli. Neither of them do. They're thinking extras 15 points in the championship. I mean, actually, Antonelli was ahead at one point. It could have been Antonelli gaining 3 on Russell. But now it's Russell gaining 18 on Antonelli, which is crazy work. Goodness gracious me. Fastest lap goes to Hamilton. Hadjar, by the way, who pitted for brand new softs, couldn't beat Hamilton's best lap. That just goes to show how quick Hamilton was on those tyres. 20.122 for Lewis, 20.150 for Hadjar. Now, keep in mind, Hamilton was under investigation. Decided to do with the yellow flag infringement, but that was no further action. So Hamilton is the confirmed winner. Nothing can take it away from him. Antonelli, though, he ain't out of trouble. His car might have blew up, but he is under investigation for track limits, which could see a 3-place grid penalty in the next race, which could be very, very intriguing. Right then, I'm going to head off quite quick because I feel another bout of diarrhea coming on. You didn't need to know that. Sorry, that was just one of them details just don't need. But yeah, I really enjoyed this race. I mean, I enjoyed the first 40, the last 20, 30 laps. The first 40 were just an absolute nightmare. It was just boring. But it's ended with a Lewis Hamilton win for Ferrari, a Russell P2, a Norris P3, and an Antonelli DNF. It can't get much better than that. So thank you all for watching today. I hope you did enjoy. I'll be back. I don't know when. I still don't feel very good. So we'll have to wait and see. When's the next race, actually? Because I don't think it might be a triple header, but I'm not too sure. And 28th. Okay, so it's 2 weeks until Austria. And then we have another, we've got another double header, Austria-Britain. Quite decent. So yeah, I will see you a lot when I'm next live. Again, like I said, I don't know when that will be. Could be any time, really. Probably not for the next couple of days. I feel like shit. But we'll go from there. So yeah, have a good rest of your Sundays. And I will see you a lot in the next stream or video. Excuse me, whichever comes first. See you later. And well done, Hamilton. We'll do that thing. You know what they do at graduation when they throw their hats up? We'll do that for Hamilton. Even though it's a Leclerc cap. Don't worry. Right, see you later. Whee! That was a failure. Try that again. Whee! Whee! Nice one. Alright, see you later.